Today I'm going to talk to you about why you as a family should move to Alberta. Hi, this is Melody Wilson, Edmonton Realtor with Real Broker and ReLife team, and I wanted to talk to you about moving to Alberta. Why should you as a family move to Alberta from whatever province or country you're coming from? Today I'm going to talk to you about 5 key elements of why you should move to Alberta. The 5 things include cost of living, the weather system here, the healthcare, and the community/family activities that you can do with your family. So in this video, I'm not going to go into a massive amount of cost of living in Alberta details. If you want to check out a video on cost of living in Edmonton, I'm going to post it at the end, and there's also in the suggested videos up here. So the cost of living in Alberta, what we found, and in Alberta, across Canada, province-wide, we have the most affordable cost of living in terms of housing and buying groceries and just buying things in general. We do not have a provincial sales tax. So that saves you around 10% on a lot of your purchases. When you're in BC, Ontario, you have provincial sales tax. Now, also the cost of living in those provinces, those average house prices are quite a bit higher, well over the $1 million mark, whereas in Alberta, we're sitting in around the $400,000 to $500,000, depending on where in Alberta you are. There's even lower average price points depending on what city you end up looking into. So according to Statistics Canada, Alberta actually has one of the higher earning potentials for salary. Now it varies in jobs, and unfortunately I don't know a whole lot about the job industry, but if you look down in the description below, we do have a link that you can click to see what kind of job, if you're in a certain industry, what you could make. We're just linking it straight to Statistics Canada so you can see, because we looked at the study that shows that all across Canada, the provinces, Alberta has the highest earning potential for median average salary. So for example, the median salary in Alberta was $98,400. Now, when you look at all across Canada, the Canada average was $84,900. So you can see that there is a little bit more of an Alberta advantage, is what our province has always called Alberta. So another reason why the cost of living in Alberta is a bit lower is also because not only do we not have PST, we also have healthcare. Now, healthcare covers quite a bit of things, including kids under the age of 18. You have eye exam included every year. You have general, just going to the doctors if you're not feeling well. So there's a lot of things that are covered that you don't have to worry about if your province or your state or country doesn't cover these expenses for you. Another thing in Alberta we have are different tax rebates and credits that can help your family. Depending on your earning potential and how many kids you have, you can get provincial rebates and tax rebates to help your family with your finances. Now, for more information about these different incentives, it's always best to speak to an accountant because things are always changing. We put a link down below to an article that you can check out information about this. So Alberta weather. Now, this is an advantage, but it's also sometimes people get kind of frustrated with Alberta weather. The joke here is just wait 5 minutes and the weather will change. It will go from extremely thunderstorm to beautiful sunshiny day, all within a span of 2 hours. Hard to believe, but that's happened. It also happens where we have snow and sun in the same day. Now, Alberta's weather can vary. It goes all the way as low as -40 to all the way to +40. It's quite the range that we have here in Alberta. Now, one advantage of Alberta living here and why you should come here is because of the sun. We get so much sun in Alberta. In fact, according to the province of Alberta's website, the northern part of Alberta, you get upwards of over 1,900 hours of sunlight in Alberta and over 23 hours of sunshine in the south annually. That is a lot of sun. That makes a lot of happy people. So that's a huge reason why people love living in Alberta, because of the sun and not having to worry about constant overcast. So even when it's snowing, we still got sun. So I touched upon this on the cost of living, but health is another reason why people like living in Alberta. It's another reason you should consider moving to Alberta. We have hospitals and clinics. And I know that's a loaded comment because there's a lot of things happening in politics these days on healthcare. However, as a mother, there are a lot of hospitals close by in Edmonton where we live, and I know in Calgary it's the same thing. And usually there's clinics almost in every neighborhood. So we have really easy access to to different clinics. If you need to go to after hours clinic, pharmacies do a lot of things as well. But I know when talking to other clients who are moving in from bigger cities in Ontario or BC, hospital access is actually really difficult. And in here, we're only 15 minutes usually away from a hospital, depending on where you live, and they're not too far away, and they're really good hospitals. Something else that the Alberta Healthcare has, as a new mom, there's a lot of support in terms of the nurses coming to your home, and also just the services that they provide. The moms can get together with other young moms and to support each other. So there's a lot of different social services that are available here in Alberta as well. So another reason why you should move to Alberta to consider is the education system and schooling system. From kindergarten to grade 12 is how we operate. Now I know in different provinces it operates differently in terms of how the kids are classified. In Alberta, how it works is kindergarten is optional, and that is for age 5, and grade 1 to grade 6 is called K to 6. Some schools have K to 9, so it's elementary K to 6 all the way up to grade 9, and then high school is grade 10 to 12. So I know that in Ontario sometimes it's, and also in the States, junior high is grade 7 to 9 here in Alberta, whereas down in the States you have grade 9 as part of high school. So that's something to note. The school systems here are great. I've noticed that the schools in the suburbs, in the newer neighborhoods, they're newer schools. We tend to see the schools inside of the city in Edmonton not really changing in terms of renovations or that kind of budget. I'm not as familiar with Calgary since I don't live there, but I know that the Alberta school system in general is actually one of the best systems. So you can get a really good quality education and you don't have to worry about crime and all that kind of stuff. I know that our country and down to the south has a very huge variable between a public school and private school. Here in Alberta, we see a lot more kids go to public school or Catholic school. There's the two primary systems here. There's also homeschooling, and of course there is private school. They're just a little bit smaller of people participating in those niches. Now, in terms of post-secondary, we do have some really great universities in Alberta. We've got the University of Alberta in Edmonton. We have the University of Calgary in Calgary. And there are some technical schools such as SAIT in Calgary and NAIT in Edmonton. There's also some other post-secondaries, both within Edmonton and Calgary. So there's quite the variety and options if you are looking to go into post-secondary here in Alberta. In Alberta, there's 26 universities and colleges. All these institutes offer certificates, diplomas, degrees, applied degrees, apprenticeships, and continuing education programs. So there's a variety of education you can get both in trades and in technical work. Why would you move to Alberta as a family? What is a community and lifestyle like? Well, this point is interesting because, of course, whether you live in BC or Ontario or in the States or somewhere else in the world, Alberta is very different from every other province. I mean, that's pretty normal. People make up the community. And I find that in Alberta, we really enjoy living here. We have friends all across Canada and we love them too. But in Alberta, the reason we love it is we have a lot of family here. So you're gonna find a lot of people who live in Alberta either are coming back because of family. A lot of people come here also because of cost of living. But the lifestyle here, there's a lot of families. Alberta's quite young, and we used to have quite a bit of an agricultural workforce. However, of course, there's a lot of oil and gas, but we're moving also to technology. So you're gonna see a variety of different careers here. So you're gonna bring in a variety of different people. We have white collar jobs, as in legal and dental and medical, but we also have blue collar jobs in terms of trades. And so there's a lot of different varieties. We find as a family that we have lots of friends who are in the trades, we have lots of friends who are in white collar professions. The community here is, I think, a really great community. Everyone's friendly, everyone wants to help each other. Of course, you're gonna have the people that are not happy, and so you'll see that probably in the comments of people who are not happy with where they live. But we really love living in Alberta because there is that friendliness in the community of helping each other out. There's a lot of activities for the kids to do. There's a lot of extracurricular activities such as swimming, karate, dancing. There's so many varieties for things for kids to do. There's playgrounds in almost every neighborhood, green spaces, lots of walking paths. We love being outdoors. And even though a lot of times the weather is cold, there's still a lot of people outdoors. We've got the Rocky Mountains in Alberta. So a lot of families will travel to the mountains, whether it be summer or winter. We've got lakes. And so in the summertime, the Alberta families go and check out the lakes if they do stay in Alberta, and there's a lot of different things, but one of the key things we see here in Alberta is definitely families. So those are just 5 simple reasons of why you should consider moving to Alberta. We want to hear your comments down below on the positive reasons of why you live here. If you want to check out the video of Edmonton cost of living, we'll see you at this video and you'll see all the details of living in Edmonton. And here are the pros and cons of Calgary versus Edmonton. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.